a woman, apparently she's allergic to something. Now, everybody has allergies, common allergies. Some people have weird allergies. Some people are allergic to the most peculiar things. Some people have seafood allergies. People have the nut allergy, which has become more and more common over the last couple of decades, where nuts, peanuts, those kind of things are, I guess, considered somewhat deadly in some cases to people. And then you have people like chickpeas and apples and all different kinds of food. Sometimes it's different kinds of pollens. If you go past an area where people are landscaping and you have allergies to that kind of stuff. I've never heard of what this lady's allergy, ever. I think she's full of malarkey. And the fact that this is getting any attention really reflects bad on the New York Post. Because I don't know what's been going on the last several weeks. I know it's getting them clicks and views and stuff, but it's all been like the National Enquirer.
It's very tabloidy these days. It's
terrible. So this lady here, she is allergic to, any guesses? Gabby has a friend who's allergic to pineapple. Yeah, that's a food. I've never heard of a pineapple allergy, but I guess it's possible. This dummy is allergic to gravity. I don't know how that's even possible. How is that a thing, to be allergic to gravity? The story goes, a woman who's allergic to gravity is speaking out about her debilitating condition, claiming she spent 23 hours a day in bed and is unable to stand upright for more than 3 minutes without passing out. Her name is Lindsay Johnson, a relative of Mr. Brian Johnson, suffers from I hate science words, postural orthostatic, something else syndrome. I'm not going into it. I'm a dumb guy. A condition that creates reduced blood volume and an abnormal increase in heart rate when a person stands or sits up. I'm allergic to gravity, she says. It sounds crazy, but it's true. I can't stand up for longer than 3 minutes without feeling faint, being sick, or passing out. I feel much better if I'm lying down and in bed all day. Gabby, you're right. It's just being lazy. I get there's a blood thing. Bartholomew's saying it's called being weak. Yeah, that's also a thing too. But it's not being allergic to gravity.
But passing out every 3 minutes if you're standing up? Do you believe her or
standing
no?
up or sitting up? I don't know. Looking over at your camera, looks like you're passing out every 3 minutes.
I know. I might have I think I'm allergic to gravity.
You are allergic to gravity. Johnson was working as an aviation diesel mechanic for the Navy in 2015 when she began experiencing symptoms of POTS. That's the acronym that I couldn't read because, science is hard. The young recruit suffered severe back and abdominal pain and soon began fainting on a regular basis. It was really scary, she said. She was experiencing massive anxiety. I was passing out everywhere. I would be shopping at the supermarket and I had to sit down because I felt faint. I even passed out after my dog has barked. Can you believe that? Like your dog barks and you just keep dropping to the floor all the time.
It's no wonder she has to stay. I mean, if that's why she has to stay in bed. She'll hurt herself.
Yeah.
Like falling down and shit.
In May 2018, Johnson was medically discharged from the military due to her mysterious illness, but her symptoms only worsened. By early 2022, she was unable to keep food down and was projectile vomiting on a regular basis. This is hilarious. This is like something I would do with a Sims character. Like where they have, you ever play The Sims? Like the originals?
I'm familiar with it. I never played it, but I'm familiar with it.
Okay, maybe not in the current versions. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't played it in years. But you used to have these characters that were just complete idiots. Like you were molding a person's personality, their skills, their functionality, all of that stuff. You would increase their skill sets so they would be able to cook and not burn the house down, so they could swim and not drown in the pool. They wouldn't fall down the stairs. This is exactly what this is. This is real life Sims happening here. And Sims is supposed to be a simulation of real life, except this chick got out of the game and is now existing in the real world here. So somebody, probably me, decreased all their skills so that they're a babbling idiot. They don't know how to function for themselves. They're always crying. They're crapping their pants. Things are burning. They don't know what to do. They're having mental breakdowns. And then you just leave them alone and you laugh at the characters because they're sitting in their house freaking out, and then eventually they die, which is what I do. And then their spirits haunt the house. This is what's happening in real life. She's a Sims character come to life where somebody just lowered all her levels and didn't help her progress. I'm really kind of liking this now. I want this to be a TV show or a movie. You have you just sit there with your little iPad or something like that and go, okay, I'm going to power down her cognitive reasoning. She doesn't have skills, so she can't cut, or she can't use scissors. She can't cook. She'll trip down everything. She's crying all the time. I'm going to make her miserable. You're just lowering all these things here, and then you just sit back and you watch from your cameras, from the rooftop, whatever. You're looking down and just see they can't function in real life, and that's what happened here. She threw up I threw up so much my heart would start having prolonged QT intervals. And I'd be in the hospital on cardiac monitoring. A cardiologist subsequently theorized that Johnson may have POTS and suggested she undergo a tilt test, T-I-L-T, test, during which the patient is secured to a table while laying down, and then the table is slowly tilted upright, while doctors monitor heart rates, blood pressure, and blood oxygen and exhaled carbon dioxide levels. In February, she was officially diagnosed with this syndrome. Now, there's a photo of her here I'm going to bring up where I'm wondering, did they just kind of prop her up to model for this photo, and then she quickly collapsed after the photo was taken? Look at that. It's like
she has 3 minutes at best.
Yeah.
In that photo.
How did they get her to this park, unless this is her backyard or something? They got her out there. She's got like a little wheelchair or something right here. They got
pattern pants too.
Yeah, it looks like the alligator that they killed in the other story. She's sitting there. She's kind of propped. Like, I don't know, is she trying to be cute? Gabby is saying this might be photoshopped. That's possible. Like, maybe she's laying down and they just kind of put her in this setting.
The way her hand is, that's a good theory.
Yeah. Like she's leaning on a table. Like, you bring her out for this photo, and then you got to wheel her back in, because if she can't sit up, she can't walk. Why wheel her out here? Because isn't she throwing up all over the place? She just said how she projectile vomits everywhere. So you're wheeling her out here, and she's just throwing up all over the place just to clean her off, to sit her up for a photo, and then wheel that mess back into the house.
Projectile vomit. It's so specific. Like, I don't think I've ever seen it. Unless, no, that's not true. Like, babies do it a lot.
Yeah.
Babies will fucking projectile vomit. It's fucking disgusting.
While there is no cure, she now takes beta blockers, which reduce her fainting to 3 times a day, down to 3 times a day now, and help with her nausea. However, she's still unable to live a normal life and relies on her husband to be the caregiver. Why is that guy still around? God bless him for doing it, but wouldn't you get out of there? At that point, it's like, I can't live a life like this. I can't function. I can't go to work. I can't do anything because this thing is throwing up all over the place. Like, watch what happens. Let me put her out in the front lawn, and then her head's going around like that wacky weasel sprinkler thing. When you're growing up, where all the hoses are going everywhere,
spraying
vomit's
kids.
Just going everywhere. She's flailing everywhere. That's not a life to live. Maybe I
don't know. What's the point of the story? Like,
just letting you know that this exists, I guess.
Just letting you, yeah. They're letting you know that this fucking, if it's true,
right,
horrendous condition is afflicting someone.
Yeah, there's photos with her that has those little monitor things like taped to her head and in her hair. There's a photo of here. I don't know if I want to put it directly of her face where she's just leaning on her hand again, but she's crying. Why is that in the news story? Why put that in there? She said, it's really debilitating. I can't do chores. James has to cook, clean, and help me shower and wash myself. I've gone weeks without brushing my teeth because it just makes me feel awful. So do children. But you make them do it anyway. The ex-mechanic, who used to pride herself on being super active, says the diagnosis feels like the rug has been ripped from under my feet. No, she just collapsed again. That's what it was. A determined Johnson, that could be your new title, Determined Johnson, is now pursuing... A determined Johnson is now pursuing what? Let's play a game here. What do you think she's pursuing?
She is... Wait, what was the story about?
Her fainting and throwing up. And
the fainting and throwing up. That's
she's
right.
allergic to gravity,
I totally
remember?
lost it for a second.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you think she's pursuing now? With all this debilitation, what do you think she's pursuing?
A college degree? Where she's like, I don't know, has a special desk made for her that's upside down.
Like a space pen? She's got it strapped to the ceiling in order to function?
Exactly.
What if that's what it is? They got to get her like those moon boot things where she's magnetized to the ceiling and she can function perfectly walking around on the ceiling, but you get her down on the ground level and she's a mess.
But isn't that just called vertigo? Remember Lucille 2 had it in Arrested Development?
I think it is, but I think vertigo comes and goes. Like, it's not a persistent debilitation.
Every 3-minute type thing.
Yeah, well, she's down to every 3 minutes now. It used to be more. Used to be able... Yeah, it was like a sundial. You used to be able to tell where the sun was by the time she was fainting. I like your answer. Gabby's first answer was she's pursuing... OnlyFans. That'd be great if she was, but she is not. She also said going to space.
It wouldn't be great.
Coach Quincy saying a career in law. No, Brian is right. She is pursuing a music business degree from the confines of her bed and hopes to be able to get back to work in a job where she can work remotely and lie down. In the music business, how are you going to do that? It's one thing to work from home remotely. I get it. We're in a world where that can happen now. But if you have to lay down on the floor here and then you're with a laptop and you're trying to get work done like that, how productive are you really to the job that you're trying for?
And how weird are the Zoom meetings where you're lying down, like everyone else is up straight and you're sideways.
Yeah, you're like this. And then you shooting out over the camera all the time. Or if you're laying back and it's going off like a fountain, like old Faithful. Yeah, I got to get off this meeting because at 4
we want her to work for us.
We got to get off this meeting at 4 o'clock. She's going to spew, and then all of a sudden she leans back and it goes off. Although I kind of want to see that video now, but
yeah,
she's not going to be productive to anybody in society with this. And I don't know. They're telling us what this is. I really don't understand this at all, so I guess I do feel bad that she has something. But a lot of this is beyond anybody's tolerance and patience. This is bullshit. No company's going to hire you with this nonsense.
No, they'll find a reason.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to deal with everything you bring along.
Right. I really had to adapt to this new life, and I can't do a lot of what I used to be able to do, but I've come to terms with that now. I'm grateful for what I have. I wouldn't be. I'd want to be done. Like, just end it. If you had vertigo or like you've had migraines, right?
Sure.
You ever have the migraines where you get tunnel vision?
Yeah.
Where you can, before the pain even hits your head, all of a sudden you start to realize you can't focus right in front of you. Like, it's a little blurry and it's kind of getting dark a little bit. Like, you can see peripheral, but you can't focus on what's in front of you. And then it starts going like this. You know, like the little black... It's almost like the ending of a movie. Like the old Looney Tunes commercial where the black dot goes real big like that for the end.
Right.
You have that, and then your head's freaking out. You can't see, and you have a really bad migraine going on. So you take some Tylenol or Advil or something. You go lay down for a while, but then it passes, and you're able to function. But if that's your day, all day, every day, you can't function like that. Why would you want to live that life? People talk about abortion being legal or not, debating on that. There's some times where you come into play like, let's talk about suicide too. Like, are there ways to make this legal where some people just have shit going on like this poor lady and you go, all right, I think we've exhausted all options. If she wants to, it's her choice. She can sign off on everything and then have that be a thing. Call Kevorkian's next of kin.
Or she could just blow her own head off. With a 45.
That is true. Well, she can't because she goes to pick up the gun and then she collapses and the gun goes off and kills poor James.
Or
her emotional support alligator gets a bullet between the eyes and she's spewing this puke everywhere and you just don't like this. The cops walk in and like, we're not dealing with this, and they just leave.
They find videotapes of her like that fucking super fan of Bjork. Remember that guy?
No. Oh,
he had drawn on his face and shit. He was like obsessed with Bjork, and he was like going to kill her and then kill a bunch of other people. But then I think he committed suicide instead.
Oh, this is the guy, Ricardo Lopez. The following content may contain suicide or self-harm topics.
What do you mean it may? It definitely does.
Well, here's the thing. It's not like they don't let you publish it. It's giving you a warning in front and says, are you okay with viewing this? So I went, okay, and now here we are. It's people doing documentaries on this guy. Yeah, I see. Kind of looks a little like Roland. Yeah, all right, I'm not putting that up there. Fuck that. But I get it. Yeah, there's no point in staying alive with this anymore. What would you do in this spot? Would you just I need to end this?
I'm allergic to gravity and I'm fainting every 3 minutes.
You're puking in every direction.
Puking all over the place.
Yeah. Do you continue living like this? Are you pursuing
No, I'm like, because you're a fucking golem, man.
Yeah, you're
just a creature now. You're not even a human being anymore. Like, you're reviled. People are like, stay away from him. Like, at all costs, stay away from him.
And then that house becomes the story, becomes lore of the neighborhood.
Yeah, the old Johnson place. He can be heard late at night fucking puking in the hallways.
You can hear it
echoing throughout the house.
Sometimes if you look up on the roof, if the conditions are right, you see him puking into the moonlight. Like a gargoyle. Yeah, you can't live that
right
life.
After he does that, he passes out.
Falls down the roof.
The truth is getting all sucks, but